Hey guys, in this video I'm going to explain how to do a kite loop. You just can't beat a good yank. Now if you haven't learned small control jumps, then check out my video here, but let's get into it. The kite loop. Kite loops are easier on smaller kites. I would highly recommend learning kite loops on a 10-meter kite or smaller. My favourite kite to loop is my 9-meter slingshot RPM. It also helps to be underpowered so you can get comfortable being more aggressive with the kite without scaring yourself. First of all, let's start with kite loop water starts. This is a great way to safely try your first loops and get the feeling of looping the kite. Start in the water like a normal water start. Steer the kite as firmly as possible so the kite loops quickly and does a small loop. Wide loops are more powerful as the kite goes further into the wind window. Small, tight loops have less power, so it's the best way to start with a nice, tight, controlled loop. Make sure you point your board directly downwind towards your kite as you come out the water. Now let's take that loop into the air. Always think about getting the kite around as quickly as possible so you can avoid that big, scary, low loop. Until you get comfortable, that is. On a small kite, slightly underpowered, do a small jump, and at the peak of your jump, pull in the bar and steer the kite firmly into a loop, watching the kite go around and complete the loop. Then fly the kite back up towards 12 o'clock, spot your landing and ride away. The only difference between a small loop and a big loop is the amount of power and speed you have for the takeoff. Body position. Let's look at what position your body should be in when kite looping. The most stable position is the toilet position. Yeah, you heard it here before. As you release from the water, tense your abs and bring your legs up to 90 degrees into a seated position. This is the most stable position to be in when looping. Commitment. Stopping your loop halfway around is the worst thing you can do, and that's how you have bad crashes. If you commit to a loop, steer the kite firmly and complete the loop every time. Never pull out halfway around the loop. Let's look at medium to big loops. The only difference between a small loop and a big loop is the amount of power and speed you have for the takeoff. Once you got comfortable with your small loops, then start going into it with more power and more speed. Then you will get more height and your loop will have more power. Always wait until the peak of your jump to loop it. However, you can experiment with looping the kite earlier and later, as the kite will have a different loop. If you loop the kite later, it's more of a heli loop above your head. If you loop the kite earlier, it's more of a powerful loop in front of you. Top tips. Sheet out after the loop to help the kite recover. Adopt a seated position in the air for the most stable position. Make sure you always fly the kite back up to 12 o'clock when you're coming into landing so you have a soft landing. If you still have lots of height after completing your kite loop, fly the kite towards 12 o'clock and as you land, complete a down loop or heli loop to soften the landing even further. As with most big air moves, it's really important to point your board downwind when you're coming into landing. It also helps to land slightly back foot first to help soften the landing. It's also really fun looping off waves. It helps build up more pressure in the lines and you can go even higher. That's why we all go to Cape Town and do some of this, because it is the best place in the world to kite loop. I just can't get enough of that feeling. So you might be wondering, what's the difference between a mega loop and a kite loop? Well, a mega loop is basically just a really big kite loop. So get comfortable practicing small kite loops and slowly learn to handle more and more power and turn those kite loops into mega loops. But the only way you'll get there is by practicing. But hey, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for my latest videos. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.